This is the new Boxee beta version. Boxee has moved out of alpha, as most of you already know, and I wanted to give a demonstration of why it is that I have moved back to incorporating Boxee into my viewing experience. And what you have here is the opening screen. It's not a terrible screen. It's just not particularly the one that I find useful, because the side where the feeds that you set up at the Boxee website for your account, that side is actually taken up with Boxee staff recommendations instead of your own feed. So you've got to scroll down for half an hour to get to the stuff that you found interesting. The queue on the right-hand side over here, I can draw on this a little bit. This is the queue here, and in the queue you have all of the items that you have saved using the Boxee bookmarklet when viewing videos on YouTube, Blip TV, or any of the compatible video websites. It stores them in the queue so that you can watch them later. And it often happens that when I'm at work, rather than getting off on a tangent of watching some video that I see would be interesting, I can just hit the Boxee bookmarklet and save it for my free time when I get home. So I find that a very nice little feature. But you can also see that there's some TV shows in there, and that's really the key to why I am using Boxee again. The menu across the top shows you the main features of Boxee, and the one that we're going to focus on right now is TV. Now, when you go to the TV menu, it will take you right into My TV shows, if you have any. And it's quite easy to pick TV shows. If you scroll to the left, another menu pops up here, and you can search for the name of any TV show you might want to watch. Or you can go to TV Library, which will show several of the shows that are available as thumbnails, and you could just go through. And let's say that I wanted to add heroes. I could go down here, select heroes, and I'm just using my arrow keys right now, and we'll talk a little bit later about the Boxee remote. So I went over, hit the arrow key. Now here's heroes. I can immediately select to go and watch one of these episodes, or again, I can scroll to the left menu, and you see here where it says add to my shows, and this would put this in that panel that we saw a minute ago of My TV shows, but it also, if you'll see in parentheses down there, whenever a new episode of Heroes comes out, it will automatically be added to my queue. Below that is Add Shortcut. And if you select Add Shortcut, let's see what happens. If I hit the backspace key, it'll take me back one, and then it'll take me to this menu, which is actually my favorite menu and the one that I use all of the time. And what you can see now is that there's a shortcut bar below that, and Heroes appears in my shortcut bar. So that's how the shortcut bar works. And if I added it to my TV shows, then it'll show up when I go to the My TV shows library. Of course, I didn't add it, as you saw a second ago, but I've added all of these other shows. And almost every show is available in this manner for streaming. So you could just about get rid of the cable television just by this service. The exceptions to that are a few of the cable networks. Some of them only give you, very old things, but most of the major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and USA, will give you all of their shows in a fairly timely manner in 24 hours to a week after they've aired, and you can just then save them to your TV shows, scroll to that show, select the show, and it comes up and it gives you a list, and you can see Friendly Fire is grayed out because I've already watched that, and I watched The Dark Road off of the DVR, so it doesn't show as having been watched in Boxee. But it's just as simple as hitting enter, and now I've got an option. I can either watch it through USA or Hulu, and if I select the Hulu option, then we actually have Hulu restored through whatever means. It's beyond the scope of this video to talk about that, but we actually have Hulu functionality restored to Boxee, and we can go and watch Burn Notice through Hulu. So it gives you options as to where those episodes may be stored. When I first tried using Boxee again, it took so long. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time for it to actually access the service, that I thought that it wasn't going to access it ever, but in fact it did, and eventually the show does come up. As you can see, when it does load, it comes up automatically in full screen. And you still have the Boxee menu down here. Now notice that when I stop viewing this, it returns me right back out of Hulu and to Burn Notice in my TV shows on Boxee. So the ticket here is Boxee for streaming TV shows. It's very simple to add shows. It's very simple to watch shows, and you get to use the Boxee interface. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to use Boxee Bookmarklet to add internet videos to your queue. And the third thing is to have the Boxee remote, which is going to be available either to purchase the hardware remote as a separate item to control Boxee on your computer, or, which looks like a very slick remote from everything I've seen, or you can get the Boxee remote app for your iPhone, which is what I have, and I think it's very slick and makes using Boxee extremely easy. And then the last thing, besides Boxee itself, the Boxee Bookmarklet, the Boxee remote, the last thing is the Boxee plugin for Media Center, Windows Media Center. So on Windows 7 in Windows Media Center, I have a plugin that takes me to Boxee. I can stream TV shows, and when I'm done, it returns me right back to Windows Media Center. So I never leave the 10-foot interface. One of the glitches that I've seen in Boxee is in viewing Fox network shows. If I view it, and you saw a moment ago that I had a choice between USA and Hulu, if I try to view a Fox episode off of the Fox network instead of through Hulu, then for whatever reason on my computer, I only get half of the video to appear, and the bottom half is cut off. So for the Fox videos that are available on Hulu, I can still watch those directly through the Boxee interface, which is great. So thank you, Boxee. You have much improved, and the ability to incorporate Boxee into my Windows Media Center experience, into my web browsing experience, has been invaluable. And thanks to everybody that made all of the improvements that have been rolled into the Boxee beta.